Hello everybody, my name is Waltogator and welcome to Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo. I love this game. This game is pretty fucking rad, if you ask me. We're gonna play. We're gonna play. What are the buttons? Let's change these around. So I'm gonna make that shoot and that item select. I think that makes life easier. Yeah.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
Oh, spooky. I first battled the Metroids on planet Zebes. It was there that I foiled the plans of the space pirate leader Mother Brain to use the creatures to attack galactic civilization. Text goes a bit too slow for me to read as it comes on. Pew, pew, eat that brain. I next fought the Metroids on their homeworld SR388. I completely eradicated them except for a larva which, after hatching, followed me like a confused child. So basically these are the events of the first Metroid and the second Metroid. Whoa, it's a babby. Whee! I personally delivered it to the Galactic Research Station at Ceres so scientists could study its energy-producing qualities. Yes, thank you, Samus. You've done a fine job. Fine job. The scientists' findings were astounding. They discovered that the powers of the Metroid might be harnessed for the good of civilization. Yeah, that's not going to end well, is it? Not going to end well at all. Satisfied that all was well, I left the station to seek a new bounty to hunt. But I had hardly gone beyond the asteroid belt when I picked up a distress signal. Ceres Station was under attack. Gasp. Meow. I've got lots to say about this game. Let's see if my brain can work. Get the words out. Here she is. Oh, Samus. Oh, that's the jump button. No. Speedrun, let's go. No, I'm not speed. I'm not speedrun. Ooh, it's all spooky and quiet and horrible. It's the Metroid. Hey, little guy. How you doing? It's Ridley. Kill him. Ow. Ow! 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 Jump right into them. Ah! Pew pew pew! Now you can technically defeat Ridley here. Not that it changes the events or anything. Haha. He's too big, you can't put him in Smash. Oh, he got the better of me. Self-destruct sequence activated. Evacuate colony immediately. Oh shit. Better fucking run. Go, go, go. Ow. Steam. Ah. Let me out, let me out. I don't like it. It's dead spooky. Ah. Oh, it's all exploding. I'm rotating. Mode 7. Ah. Oh, only just made it. Oops. That's what Samus does though, isn't it? She goes places and then blows them up. I hope those scientists were actually dead, because if any of them were alive, that's just mean. Planet Zebes. Oh, excuse me. Zebes? Zebes? Zibbity-doos? I don't know. Ooh. I like how her ship looks like her face. Or at least her helmet. Maybe not her face, because she's a pretty lady. So welcome to Zebes. Let's go explore him. Get this show on the road. Now, I am under the impression that this video game... Why have I gone in here? I can't go in here. I believe that this video game is the greatest game ever made. Bold statement, I know. Not necessarily my favourite game, though it is up there. It is fucking fantastic. But I feel like everything it intends to do, it does perfectly. I can't think of a legit fault with the game in the slightest. Maybe using the grapple beam is a little bit finicky, but I do I genuinely believe for a Super Nintendo game, the atmosphere in this game is so thick. It really does make you feel so alone. It kicks ass. It kicks so much ass. It's so good. We've got Morph Ball. Yay! Hey. Stop watching me. I love it. Can he go through them pink doors though? I need missiles for that. Whee! I do find it quite funny that Samus can roll into a ball. Does it hurt? Can't be good for your back, can it? Yeah, I love this game. I'm probably going to be saying that so much because I genuinely do love this game. You can't get that. It's easier to do when the enemies come back, I think, because you can damage boost up to it. I'm probably not going to do it. I'll come back and get it. Now the things the last time I played this was only a few months ago, but I started doing a it was before I started words. It was when I started doing Let's Plays again. Because I did the Crash Bandicoot Let's Play and then I didn't do anything for a long time. I mean, I didn't even finish uploading all the Crash Bandicoot Let's Play, even though I finished recording it. But then I did A Link to the Past randomised. And the reason I did A Link to the Past randomised was I actually started playing the Super Metroid A Link to the Past randomizer, and it made me want to I wanted to do the randomizer, basically. The Super Metroid Link to the Past randomizer, and that is the goal on the channel one day. But I was like, I'll probably just do a Super Metroid randomizer first before I tackle. Because I wanted to do a Link to the Past randomized, then Super Metroid randomized, and then do the two together. Not like one after another, but you know, that was the plan. But I was just in the hankering to play some Super Metroid, and I figured, because basically this is the week recording this, so this will go up later. Like Christmas will have been and gone then, but I'm basically trying to record a batch of episodes because I'm going to be busy at work for the next. Well, it will have finished. It would all have kind of been over by the time this episode goes up. But basically, the recording process today is that I wanted to do as many episodes as possible, and I wanted to do things that I knew I could do maybe quite comfortably. So whether I finish this in this sitting, I don't know, but I wanted to record a few episodes of something. And I've done a few random episodes. Do I want to go in here now? Of things. And I know I'm technically playing Ocarina of Time is currently the game that I am playing. But generally the episodes of those go on for about close to an hour, some of them. And the next thing that I need to record is the water temple. And I cannot remember how to do it. So I figured the best thing to do was just play some random things and then go back to Ocarina of Time. So Ocarina of Time will probably resume in the new year, 2021. We'll kick the new year off with the fucking water temple. So I mean, I will try and finish this. Like, Super Metroid isn't a terribly long game, especially when you know what you're doing, and I kind of know what I'm doing. I've played it quite a few times. I love it. I think it's fucking, as I've said, I think it's fucking great. Let's do an old save-a-rooney, shall we? So that's the intention, basically. And I'm playing this on the Switch, as you can probably tell by the border and everything. Because I mean, I do play a lot of retro games on my Raspberry Pi, but I'm going to start playing if they're available to play on a console that I own. I'm going to maybe start playing them like that. Though it does rule out quite a few. Anyway, Super Metroid. We are on our way to get Morph Ball bombs, basically, is what we're after. So we can continue doing shit. Because this is obviously the term Metroidvania is basically the reason why it is a term, as far as I can tell, is because of this game and Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Those two games are basically the true start of what you would consider a Metroidvania. I know there's the original Metroid and Metroid 2, but they're not quite in the same vein, because you don't get quite as many like power-ups to help you out or whatever. Oh, the Chozo statue is alive! Pew, pew, pew. Ow! Pew, 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 pew. He's not got a head. Ow. Oh, you done gone exploded, mate. You've gone boom. I actually remember when I was a kid and I first played this game. That part genuinely terrified me, and then I didn't like playing the game afterwards. I think then the only other time I played it was like my cousin had played it. He loved these kind of... Well, he didn't play a lot of games, but he played a few. And he played this a fair bit, I think. So I would play a save file. I had no idea what I was doing. It wasn't until I bought the game much later, secondhand from Game Station. We can go down here now and get some stuff. Yeah, I bought it secondhand, and annoyingly, I don't have it anymore. I have the game. I still own the game, but it had the box, which was a big box. It didn't have the player's guide in it, but I think it came with a player's guide. But it had the it was the big box basically, and I was quite young when not super young, but I wasn't working when I bought it. It was bought with pocket money. It was like 25 quid, I think, or something like that, which is a fraction of the price that this game goes for these days. But when I was a kid, like I had all my boxes. I used to keep my cartridges just on a shelf, but I had all my boxes in a big like Tupperware box, like a storage box, under my bed. And when my family, they were having the house done up, and they were having, basically it was like a loft conversion, because we used to have a loft for storage, and then they basically converted it into a bedroom, which was then my bedroom, which was awesome. It was way bigger than the little closet that I used to sleep in before. But in the process of doing that, we were going through stuff and getting rid of like old toys that I weren't bothered about, and stuff, because I'd grown out of toys by that point. And my mum was like, "Do you need these boxes anymore?" And I was like, Nah, I don't need those boxes. Don't need them. So we threw them away. We threw the boxes away. And I kick myself now because as a collector, I mean, I don't really collect a lot of stuff because I don't really have the money to do it these days, but I wish I still had the boxes, because they were all like, they were just flat packed. We don't need to go down there, that's for the end. But yeah, they were all flat packed and they were all mint, and I threw them away like a fool, which I regret, but not like it doesn't keep me up at night. But I think a lot of people my age, you know, in their 30s, probably have a similar situation, because you don't know that these things are going to be worth something. It was just cardboard. That's the thing. It was one of the things that I always used to dislike about Nintendo games in general, was that like Sega games used to come in these nice cases, the plastic cases, and Nintendo games just came in boxes. Yeah. So you had no idea. You had no idea. You just didn't know. You just didn't know. You didn't know they were going to be worth something. You didn't know they were going to be anything. They were, like I say, it was just cardboard. Yeah, it makes me. It made me. Well, it didn't make me sad, but I laugh about it now. Being like I say, like being a collector, it's one of them things that you just like, oh, you fool. There was actually a story similar. A guy at my old job said, because I used to work in a music store, and vinyl has come back in a big way, like in the last few years, because I think the nature of music now, I mean, a lot of people don't buy music, a lot of people don't buy films, everything kind of gets streamed, doesn't it? But vinyl sort of came back because that's like a way to superior sound quality and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of people see that as the way to, if they're going to buy music, let's buy it on vinyl rather than buying CD. Not that there's anything wrong with CD, but you know, it's like the difference between CD and streaming it is so minute, and music's kind of a bit more disposable for a lot of people these days. So a bit like the kind of people who would buy singles, which I would often say are not that they're not music fans, What am I trying to say with it? If someone just wants like the song that is number one, they were often like music is a little bit more disposable to them. They're not necessarily the kind of person who would. I don't need to go this way. That's just to a recharge station. They're probably the kind of person who isn't actually. Probably wouldn't listen to like a studio album. Anyway, I kind of lost track of what I was on about. Oi! Weird frog slug thing. Ah! I can't remember why I was. Oh, the story that I was saying of the. So yeah, the guy he was buying some records. And he basically told me, he was like, because he was like, oh, I've still got all my my old records. He was like an older gentleman, not like an old man, you know, like middle-aged, I'd say. He was like, I've still got all the vinyl I had when I was younger. And I was like, yeah, I hear stories of people, because people would come in and they'd be like, oh, I threw all my vinyl away because, you know, CD had replaced it and tape, basically. So, again, people were just, you don't know what the future's going to be like, but you just kind of go, this is an obsolete format. So we'll get rid of them and replace it, much like people did with VHS and DVD. And I think the problem is, though, is that the difference between VHS and DVD is that DVD is better than VHS, and now Blu-ray is better than DVD. But you do find people aren't really replacing their DVDs for Blu-rays necessarily, unless it is a film that warrants it. Anyway, so this guy, he was like, yeah, I went to the tip one day. You know, get rid of, I don't know, like a Christmas tree or something. And he was like, yeah, and there was a guy there, and he basically just had this massive box of records. Old, original records in great nick and everything, and he was just binning them. And the guy who I was serving was like, can I have them? And the guy who was getting rid of them was like, yeah, have them. And it had like Beatles and Bowie and all kinds of cool stuff in there that, you know, would cost way more money now to buy. I didn't really want to come here. This is a big plant, man. It's like Little Shop of Horrors. Oh, that's the wrong button. Yeah, it was just like, that guy must have had it was a jackpot. And I have a kind of similar-esque story from when, this was when I was working. So, when I was younger, but when I started working, when I had a job, I bought a Dreamcast second-hand, because I never had one growing up. My friend had one, so I had played Dreamcast, so much Power Stone 2. And yeah, I bought a Dreamcast. I wanted a Dreamcast, so I bought it secondhand. And there was a guy who was actually selling a Dreamcast and a load of games, but the games he was trying to sell were basically like the cases were fucked. The cases were absolutely fucked. I've still got them. Because Dreamcast cases were kind of weird. They're like, I don't know what they're like in America. I think they're the same, unless they're just like a normal jewel case. But they had Dreamcast cases over here were like double-sided. Very weird. Yeah, and he was selling these games, but they wouldn't buy them from him. They bought the console, and they bought some of them, but some of them he couldn't take. It was like Sonic Adventures and Sega Rally and Choo Choo Rocket. And because I was literally buying one from the other cashier in the shop, the guy was like, "Oh, you're buying a Dreamcast? Do you want these?" And I was like, "Yeah, got them." Because the only reason I bought the Dreamcast was so I could play Grandia 2, because it was at the time when I was massive into RPGs, and I just wanted to play Grandia 2. That's my Dreamcast story. And yeah, still have those games. Actually, I think I only bought about 3 other Dreamcast games after that. Like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Power Stone 2, And that's it. We just killed him. We're talking about Dreamcast. See, I don't really have a lot of fond... I don't have, like, not fond memories, but not a lot of nostalgia for the Dreamcast. Because, like I say, I didn't grow up playing it. It was something I played... Like I say, my friend had one. Ah! And we just played Power Stone 2 all the time. It was basically, we'd play Power Stone 2 and then Melee. Because I actually think he bought his second, and he bought his after it was a thing. We've now got super missiles, so now we can open green doors. But it's about that time, so I think I will end this episode here. We'll have some more ramblings in the next episode, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. Feel free to do that usual YouTube stuff. Hit the like button, leave a comment down below. Do you like Super Metroid? What do you feel about the Dreamcast? Do you collect vinyl records? Do you collect CDs? Do you stream everything? Do you care? Stay safe. Hope you have yourselves a very good day, and I shall see you later, Waltogator.